Yo, what's up YouTube? It's your boy SDK TLW, the legend way, man. I'm back here in another reaction video. Of course, you know that shit now. And today I'm going to be reacting to how Gameloft killed Asphalt series. The rise and the fall of Asphalt series. Bro, this is peak childhood. You gotta be there, bro. You gotta be there. I don't want to talk too much, but let's just get into the video.
Asphalt, the franchise that didn't just put arcade racing on the mobile map, but defined what it even meant. Back when mobile gaming was still figuring itself out, Asphalt showed up and said, yeah, we can do that too. Fast cars, crazy nitro boosts, city tracks, pure chaos in your hands. What started off looking like a mobile version of popular PC and console racers somehow built its own identity, its own vibe, its own fan base. Gameloft, once called the king of mobile gaming, turned Asphalt into a global name with over 1.5 billion downloads. So what went wrong? Why is a series with more than 20 games now reduced to just a couple that people actually play? Today we are breaking down the full story of Asphalt, from its rise to its peak to the slow fall that nobody wanted to see. And fair warning, if you're a hardcore Asphalt fan, this might hurt a little. Before we talk about the stuff that didn't just hurt us fans but straight up hit gamers in the heart, it's important to understand what Gameloft and Asphalt actually achieved. What did they do that didn't just earn fans but built straight up devotees?
2013,
basically a holy shrine for mobile gamers.
2014
so this takes us back to a new chapter in history, a time when the world was stepping into a brand new century.
Slapping, bro, because I think they partnered with Techno mobile phones. I think they partnered with Techno mobile phones during that period, because every Techno flagship you got, yeah, for that 2014 era came with like Asphalt 6, Adrenaline. Bro, man, niggas were like playing this shit back to back, and it was so crazy to the point that you couldn't share the game with anybody else. Like, in order for you to be able to play that game, you had to buy a Techno phone. Like, even though if you don't buy the right Techno phone, the game won't come with your phone. You couldn't share the game. I remember my mom had a Techno M5. This was in 2013. Bro, M5. God. They played this game. Oh boy, I went to school, came back. My brother deleted the game for Temple Run. I almost sliced the guy's head. God, I almost unlocked the cars, bro. I almost bearded the boy.
Was at its peak, similar to today's AI hype. The whole world was chasing it. Around that same time, a young financial analyst, Alejandro de Rochefort, said that the winning strategy was to present internet projects that promised banks insane growth. And that very same month, January 2000, the Guillemot brothers met Alejandro in Paris, France. 3 new companies were born: Gameloft.com, Ubisoft, and Ludiwap. But here's the twist. Gameloft wasn't born as a game developer or publisher. It actually started as a website and portal for video game news and content. UB Ventures was an investment fund, and Ludiwap, led by Michel Guillemot, was focused on making games for mobile phones. The name came from 2 words, ludique, which means playful in French, and WAP, which stood for Wireless Application Protocol Technology. That was how phones were used back then to connect to the internet. So their main focus was using this new tech to create revolutionary games for mobile phones. But as the dot-com bubble started to burst, both Gameloft and Ludiwap began drowning in losses. So on March 29th, 2002, to save the companies, Michael and Gerald Guillemot decided to merge Gameloft.com with Ludiwap and officially form a new company called Gameloft. Because they knew they couldn't survive relying on just one technology, their goal was to fully use the power of Java that was coming to smartphones and dominate mobile gaming.
Java, bro, c'est fan.ru, wap trick, wap day, wap down, bro, c'est fan.ru. Niggas were like, bro, it's on Nokia 1500, Nokia 1550, no, Asha 200, Asha 202, Express Music, Symbian phones. You gotta be there. This was like 2010, 2011, 2012. 2013, God, man, Papa, we did fire game, hey, man, I had no cell phone. Then my friends, my classmates there, they had like all these cell phones, bro. I don't know how they got the money. Probably they stole it from their parents, or I don't know, maybe they saved up for it. I didn't really care, bro. My friend Isaac, I used to play on his phone then. I shot 200. I shot 200. Motherfucker, I used to have like spare phones, bro. Then we use removable battery. When the battery is dead, you put it on your lip to taste it. No, bro, you use a bigger battery that could not fit the phone. You band it up with rubber band just because you want to play some video games. I mean, you want to play some mobile games, bro, man.
And that's exactly where Asphalt's long drive journey
Bro.
truly begins. After making a few ports of Prince of Persia and Splinter Cell, Gameloft now had both the experience and
Prince of Persia, Splinter Cell. No. Assassin's Creed. Shit. Fuck.
the motivation. They wanted to bring that same kind of thrill to devices like the Nokia N-Gage and Nintendo
Crazy
DS,
taxi
the kind
driver.
of experience that, until then, only console and PC players were getting from games like Need for Speed and Burnout. Around 2003, a lot of different concepts were being explored for the first Asphalt game. There was the idea of a traditional racing game, an open-wheel style racer, and even a rally-type concept. But this was the early 2000s, when movies and games were obsessed with cars and
Fast and Furious.
So, looking at pop culture, Gameloft decided to shift Asphalt toward a full street racing vibe. They wanted to create something on the level of 6th generation consoles like the PS2 and Xbox.
PS2, sorry, PS2,
What they
Xbox.
ended up with felt more like a 4th generation style title. Still, they put in serious hard work, and they spent real money on it too. The game featured licensed cars like the Ford GT, Lamborghini Murcielago RGT, and TVR Sagaris, along with real-world cities like New York and Tokyo. Then, with a lot of hope and excitement, on October 26, 2004, Asphalt Urban GT was launched. The moment it was released, the team knew they hadn't just made a game, they had made history. They celebrated popping champagne bottles, and one of those corks hit creative director and game designer Stanislas Devavrin right in the face. But their memories of this game were not just about the story. They also remembered that the team behind it were huge racing enthusiasts themselves. They even took part in the Romanian National Rally Championship. Asphalt Urban GT launched in both 2D and 3D versions for Engage, Nintendo DS, and Java devices. The very first game introduced Nitro. Along with that, it had multiple cars and game modes, but the reviews were kind of mixed. Still, Gameloft knew this was just the beginning. The sky was the limit. After the decent success of Urban GT, Asphalt Urban GT 2 dropped to the very next year.
You had police chases, bro. Police will be chasing you like this. Helicopter will be chasing you.
Nintendo DS, PSP, and
Like, Asphalt is one of those games that I know, like, according to my own knowledge, yeah. I'm not like deep in this gaming area then, but like first game I first played, I had like bikes in the game was Asphalt, bro. Asphalt was the one that had bikes. You had bikes, you had trikes, three-wheelers, two-wheelers, bro, like, gosh, shit.
The game featured 45 licensed vehicles in cities like Las Vegas, Dubai, Paris,
Bugatti
and the
Veyron.
arcade driving action was overhauled this time. It even had a GTA-style wanted level system. On top of that, the Pussycat Dolls made a special appearance in the game along with one of their songs. But players really did not like the AI opponents' behavior. Some even called it a marketing gimmick. So after Urban GT2 received mixed to unfavorable reviews, Asphalt 3 Street Rules arrived in 2006. This time, instead of just stacking more licensed cars and tracks, Gameloft focused on adding new game modes like Race, Duel, Beat 'em All, Cop Chase, and Cash Attack, along with an instant race mode. So overall, the game's lifespan increased, and gamers actually liked these new modes a lot. Because of all this, by September 2008, Asphalt 3 had become the biggest hit on N-Gage. And by then, the first 3 Asphalt games had already crossed 10 million sales. Now it was time to move forward with new technology. On August 28, 2008, Asphalt 4 Elite Racing launched for iOS and iPod. Of course, the game also capitalized on platforms like Java, N-Gage 2.0, and BlackBerry OS. For the first time in the series, players got to see brands like Ferrari and Bugatti, along with multiple new cars and cities. Gamers loved it, and the game went on to hit 30 million.
Bro, then, when I was playing these games, this was like 2010, 2011, bro. We used to use mobile phones, like button phones. That's what we use, button phones. Phones with button, you use the keypad in between. The one, the big keypad, you press left and right. Bro, but then, man, elevated, at 2013, we elevated to smartphone. You know what I mean? Then we started tilting. Shit. You want to drift like this, the car will be on, will move by itself, yeah. You have to tap to brake, and then you tilt to drift, bro. You now control the angle. Bruh, God, man, I was so good at the game to the point that, bro, nobody could beat me. Like, I used to beat motherfuckers, bro. I beat people. I tell you, I'm good at this shit, man.
Downloads on the App Store. But 2007 and 2008 were also the years when something new was happening almost every month. Apple had launched iOS, and Google brought out Android, which basically meant keypad phones were about to become history, and touch was the
Exactly.
future. New mobile gaming options like iOS and Android have entered the market. Gameloft knew the future of mobile gaming was already here.
Bro, see
That's
that
why Asphalt 5,
SL65.
which originally had a PSP Mini and Java version planned, eventually had those versions cancelled.
Mustang.
Instead, Asphalt 5 launched on iOS in November 2009 and on Android in March 2010. Gameloft built it on their new game engine so they could properly support tilt and touchscreen controls. It also featured a multiplayer mode that could be played both locally and online worldwide. Players really liked the game. Its graphics and visuals got a lot of praise. On top of that, it completed 20 million sales worldwide. In December 2010 and June 2011, Gameloft continued the series with
Asphalt 6 Adrenaline. Bro, this is my best Asphalt, hands down. If you don't think so, fight with your keypad. Fight with your keyboard. Comment in the comment section. I don't care. Bro, Asphalt 6. 2 Asphalt picked for me, bro. Asphalt 5 Nitro. And Asphalt 6 Adrenaline. Asphalt 8 is meh. The races became short. I just lost interest. Asphalt 9. Shit. Rubbish. Rubbish, bro. But Asphalt 6 Adrenaline and Asphalt 5 Nitro. God. You have to be there, bro. You gotta be there. I can't even emphasize on how much I played this game. Racing down Nassau, going through the tunnel whereby there's what? There's aquarium on the side. Bro, man, drifting, shortcuts, insane. You see, insane takedown. Awesome, bro. I was, nah, bro.
Asphalt 6 Adrenaline. The game had almost all the same features as Asphalt 5, but with better graphics. And as the name suggests, it introduced a new Adrenaline mode. This mode is activated when your nitro bar is full. Once triggered, your car basically becomes invincible. The upgraded visuals, the adrenaline rush, and the fast-paced gameplay series.
When your nitro is full, you tap. If you tap, it shows purple. If it shows purple, you double tap. Boost, guy. Oh my god, man.
Gamers. The result was massive success with 120 million downloads. At this point, Gameloft was
you can refill your nitro by drifting.
Games. Every year, there was a new release packed with licensed cars and cities. Pushing the best possible performance out of current hardware was exactly what made Asphalt a hit franchise. Then came Asphalt 7 Heat in June 2012. By that time, mobile hardware was rapidly leveling up. The game featured 80 licensed cars divided into 7 different tiers. The core gameplay was similar to previous Asphalt titles, but in terms of graphics and controls, it felt fresh and original. However, after 2011, Gameloft's business model had completely changed, and that's something we'll talk about in detail. Before that, let's talk about Asphalt 8 Airborne. The game in the Asphalt series that didn't just carry the legacy forward, but pushed it to insane new heights. By 2012, the Asphalt series had completed 8 years. Until then, fans had only driven cars on real-world tracks. But now it was time to take things to the sky. For that, Asphalt's game engine was completely revamped, so gamers could pull off flashy, gravity-defying tricks. Tricks that not only justified the thrilling world of Asphalt 8,
oh, my bad.
One
Asphalt 8 is good, but this looks like Asphalt Nitro.
The physics and visuals were massively upgraded. At the same time, the multiplayer aspect got major improvements too, with up to 8 players racing together in a single match. There were big plans to add multiple leagues and seasons as well.
This is Asphalt 6 Nitro. Asphalt 6 Adrenaline.
Way more than Gameloft had even expected. Touch Arcade, AppSpy, and MacLife all gave it a perfect 5 out of 5 stars. They praised its graphics, graphics and fast-paced gameplay like crazy. Other aspects like controls, tracks, cars, and upgrades were also called outstanding. Some even labeled it the greatest arcade racer. Its multiplayer mode received huge praise too. Everyone agreed that Asphalt 8 had taken the franchise to a whole new level. With Asphalt 8, Gameloft and the Asphalt series had finally found a home. A place where they could not only settle in, but also imagine long-term support for the game. In 2015, it even won the award for Best Mobile Game App, and by 2016, the game had added over 160 supercars, 7 different game modes, and new control options. But then,
I used to love to play the elimination, yo. The elimination was the best, bro. Like, the elimination, to me, yeah, was the best, bro, because you could literally knock motherfuckers down like 20 times. 18, bro, like, it was dope, man. It was really dope.
Something happened that basically killed the last truly
this is Asphalt 6,
and
bro.
playable Asphalt game. Something
This
that
gameplay
didn't just
is
send the
Asphalt
series
6.
downhill, but buried it deep in the ocean. 7 years ago, on the day people were out celebrating Valentine's Day, Asphalt 8 dropped an update called the Fastlane Update. It added new cars like the BMW i8 Coupe and the Ferrari F60 America, but it also brought changes that straight up wrecked the game. After this update, the cost of pro kits for vehicles was tripled. Even low-cost cars now require them. Completed mastery races could no longer be replayed to farm credits. Their base payouts were reduced too. On top of that, R&D events stopped giving free upgrades for vehicles. Asphalt Moments became exclusive to VIP players. At the same time, the ranks of A and S-Class cars were changed, and now every event required a specific car to even participate. All of these changes made the game feel terrible for newcomers.
They were very
and it didn't
short.
stop there. Over time, more and more changes were added that made the game less appealing for both beginners and veterans. Now, you need tokens to unlock almost every car in the garage, and many of those are tied directly to monetization schemes. Treasure Rush feels like straight up gambling. Credits were made almost useless, and ads started popping up from the moment you installed the game until you uninstalled it. With every new update, the game went from good to worse to straight up worse. And today the situation is that updates are still coming, but for Gameloft, as long as Asphalt 8 stays alive, it is just a way to keep making money. In fact, Asphalt 9 has basically replaced Asphalt 8 entirely. Asphalt games were not free to play from the start. In fact, from the first Asphalt all the way to Asphalt 7 and even Asphalt 8 at launch, they were premium titles. Asphalt 8 originally launched as a paid game too, but it was quickly converted into a free-to-play model, and after that, the rest is history. Gameloft has said multiple times that they can only survive if they're...
Bro, like, this game's made me know cars. Like, they made me know so much cars. Like, they made me know cars, bro.
And honestly, this right here is one of the biggest reasons behind the downfall of mobile gaming. In 2011, Gameloft shifted to a free-to-play model with microtransactions. Then in 2013, they reported that 67% of their revenue was coming purely from microtransactions. So at that point, it was pretty clear that Asphalt games heading downhill was almost inevitable. And honestly, if we make a video about Gameloft and don't address the elephant in the room, that would not be fair. The 2016 Vivendi acquisition didn't just hurt Asphalt, it damaged Gameloft itself. We have already made a detailed video on that topic, but it is also important to understand that Gameloft's work culture had issues from the very beginning. Multiple ex-employees have said that the company offered very low pay, crunch time was extreme, their in-house engine was reportedly terrible, and sometimes the direction of a project would change in the middle of development. The New Zealand studio head, Glenn Watson, even said that he had to start work at 9:30 in the morning, would return home at 2:30 at night, and then be back in the office by 8:30 in the morning. Even one of the junior programmers had actually worked a 24-hour straight stint in the office. Around 2011 and 2012, when several Gameloft games were launching every year, developers were reportedly working 100 to 120 hours a week. In 2013, the company also shut down its 8-year-old Indian studio in Hyderabad. Around 250 employees lost their jobs, and some were allegedly forced to sign resignation letters. Several former employees had claimed that at the company, developers come and go constantly. Creativity is almost non-existent. Their entire focus is just on making rip-offs of already popular games. Managers would create a checklist of things that every game had to include. Many projects were cancelled midway. The company's reputation became so bad that people did not even want
crashes were good too, bro. Like the crashes were dope. I mean, before Greed, I know Greed crashes are insane too. Like, but before Greed was Asphalt, trust me.
So in many ways, Gameloft was slowly digging.
I mean, and there was like Need for Speed too, bro. Need for
As you have
Speed.
figured out, we're not going to talk much about Asphalt 9,
nah,
because
man.
honestly, there is nothing that special left to discuss. Right now, for the entire Asphalt fanbase, Asphalt Legends or Unite is basically the only option. It keeps getting meaningful updates. Yes, the monetization is very heavy, but beginners usually do not have a big problem with it. The game is easy to pick up and carry on.
Rubbish,
the
John.
gameplay is still fast-paced and holds on to that classic arcade feel, and the graphics are seriously impressive. Because of that, it does not even feel like we need a new Asphalt game.
But the races are just too short in Asphalt 9. Like the races are very short. From Asphalt 8, Asphalt 9, the races are just
Game
too
at the
short,
moment.
bro.
If you just want some short-term fun, then sure, the game is enjoyable. But in the long run, it turns into a blind grind. And maybe that is why people think that Asphalt 9 will probably be the last. So as long as it is here, fans can enjoy it. Because one day, its engine will wear out. Its tires will lose grip. And eventually, it will also be added to the list of lost speed on Asphalt. Now this was a huge list where at least one of those games you have probably played at some point. The mainline Asphalt series has a total of 9 games, and according to Wikipedia, Asphalt has 13 spin-offs in total. Some of them were basically ports of mainline titles. Asphalt 3D was actually a port of Asphalt 5, and Asphalt Nitro was a light version
Yeah, Asphalt
of
Nitro.
Asphalt 8, which a lot of people have probably played. But if we talk about right now, out of these
Asphalt Nitro was the best, bro. The Porsche Carrera GT. Asphalt Nitro and Asphalt 6 Adrenaline. Peak, like, honestly, like, none of the Asphalt line could peak those two.
22 total Asphalt games, you can officially play only 4.
Veneno.
Asphalt 8, Legends, Asphalt Extreme Netflix Edition, and Asphalt Retro, which is basically a browser version of Asphalt 1. Other than these, if you want to play any older Asphalt game, you will have to dig deep into the internet, or just give up, because even if you somehow manage to make it work, you will barely play for 4 or 5 hours, and then once again, it will turn into lost media. Just another entry in the lost speed of Asphalt. Now, we are not going to give you a false hope, because honestly, Gameloft is not going to change. So as long as Asphalt or Gangstar games are still around, just enjoy them while you can. After that, who knows if Gangstar New York will ever actually be released or not. We have already talked about that in another video, by the way.
Bro, man, I don't have anything else to say because I've said it all in between the video, but thanks for watching, man. I'll see you guys in the next one. I mean your boy TLW, the legend, man. Peace out.